Hi crafty friends, Monique here with Grace and Tattered Lace. We're just going to wait a couple minutes and see as our friends start to pop on, and we'll get started with our fun little project that we have going on. Hello Miss Stephanie, thank you for joining. I hope you're well today. Hello friends. Thank you all for joining me today. Hi Rose, hope you're good. You guys, I have this fun little project that I saw, and I went to Dollar Tree the other day and I picked it up to do the little project that I've had on my mind for a little while. Oh, awesome. Hopefully it's not raining too bad where you're at today, Stephanie. Anyway, I got this, this is called a mesh strainer. It came from Dollar Tree, and I have some dowels, also from Dollar Tree, and a jar from Dollar Tree. And we're going to make something really fun with this. Hello, Beverly. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I might have to use my little heat tool to get this sticker off. I should have taken that off earlier. I apologize that I didn't do that. Anyway, I've already prepped it. Hello. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm so excited to have you here. We're going to make something with this strainer. I've already prepped it a little bit because it is a little bit difficult to do. I found standing up, I could do it better than sitting down. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I've already prepped it. As you can see, I've taken the handle off, and I've taken off one of the little notches that hold it, on a little cup or a bowl or something. So what I did was I took my wire cutters, and I just kind of started twisting this to get this out. I'll show you when I get it out, really what it looks like. It doesn't wrap all the way around, so it's just a small piece. And you just kind of have to pull. And there we go. There's our little notch. It just came right out. But you also want to make sure that, especially if you're going to sell this, you're going to have potential customers coming in a booth, or wherever you might have it, that you take your wire cutters or some pliers and you push down the little edge where it came out, because you don't want it to poke them and cut them. You can cut it with the wire cutters also, but then you're going to leave a sharp edge. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Angelica. Hello, Stephanie. Thank you, ladies, so much for being here. And the good thing about this is, as you're doing this, you're actually bending this mesh and making it look worn and beat up. I haven't really disclosed what we're making it, Miss Stephanie. We are using a jar, a mesh strainer that came from Dollar Tree, and I cut the little pieces off. I cut this off and this off. I just did, I had prepped it because it did take me a little while. I found that the best way to do that is use your wire cutters and just twist and pull, and then make sure that you pinch the sides down. We're going to rust this up. Let me get my glue gun on, because I forgot to turn the glue gun on, and I want it to be hot in a few minutes. All right. So I was watching, I think, our new friend over at the Dashing Willow, right? Christy, she was using a new paint, or something that I had never seen before, to rust with, and it got me thinking. I'm not exactly sure what it was called. I don't remember, but it had a lot of texture to it, and it gave it more of that vintagey, crusty, rusty look to it. So I thought, why not try something to see if we can get it to do the same thing? So we're gonna give it a try. So I have my Americana burnt orange, and we're going to just put some on the plate. And I have my chalk, Hello Hobby Chalk Noir. Hello friends. Thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate it. And I'm just gonna put some on the plate. Can't remember how much I needed. Anyway, all right. So to kind of get that thicker, rustier, crustier looking stuff, I am going to use my Fast and Final lightweight spackle. I believe I got this at Walmart. I might have gotten this at Walmart. We're just going to put a little bit in our paint and we're going to mix it up. I have about that much. I don't even know. I'm just going to see what happens. Let me get a napkin and something to stir this with. Okay. All right, so now we're going to stir this. I'm going to stir my paint in with this spackle. And I'm hoping that this is going to give me that thick, rusty looking gunk that I'm looking for. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see how it kind of got pretty thick. And I think as it starts to dry, it will get even thicker. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right, so I also have some little finales here that I'm going to gunk up, and a safety pin. Since I still haven't rusted my safety pins, we're going to do a faux rust on a safety pin. So let's start with this little guy, this little mesh thing. What am I going to put this thing? All right, so we're just going to start with some, I have a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to kind of just daub the cafe all over this, just like so. And you can see how it's getting kind of thick in some areas. And because it's mesh, it kind of goes through sometimes. So that's why I was thinking that this thicker stuff might be better than just regular paint. And this is where I get the gunk all over my fingers. Sarah, I don't know how you stay so clean. I get it all over me. And I use like a million wipes. Okay. See, I'm already gunky. All right, you guys, it's actually nice and cool here today. We got a little bit of rain yesterday and overnight, which has been wonderful for us in California. We don't ever have rain. I haven't really paid attention to the news this morning to see. I hope that there hasn't been too many floods going on in other areas. Hello, Lizette. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you guys coming and supporting me. All right, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit while, look, golly Moses. I wanna do these finales, knobs, whatever these little guys are called. And I'm thinking I'm going to use some tape to hold it. So we're gonna use the same paint, and I'm just gonna daub the brown over the top. These little boogers can be a pain to hold. Well, look at that. We got some rust on it already. I don't know any other way to do these. Anybody else have a... Your space might be messy, Sarah, but I don't ever see you covered with paint. You're always very neat. Hello, thank you so much. Hello, Debbie. All right, so we're just gonna let this dry, and I'm hoping that the next coat, as this stuff starts to thicken up a little bit, that it's gonna get a little rustier and crustier and thicker. And I'm not really worried about covering it all the way because we're gonna go through with a couple coats. Just making sure I'm not missing anybody, guys. All right. As always, I should probably put my glasses on so I can see better. So as I was saying, we got some rain. It has actually cooled us off quite a bit, about 20 degrees. It's been wonderful. Still warm, but under 100 is fabulous. Under 105 is fabulous. I might have got a bit much on that one, but that's all right. Okay. All right, I'm gonna, oh, I gotta get my safety pin. Just gonna gunk him up also. I wanted to try to do all this kind of together so I can dry it with the heat tool because these metal pieces get hot. So I figured if I'm drying multiple things, then my metal pieces have a chance to cool off while I dry the other things. So I'm just doing the same thing with this safety pin. I don't even know if you guys can see it. I don't even know where it's at. Oh, it's right here. So I'm just gunking up just like the others. So I'm just gonna blast these really quick with the heat tool, get them a little bit dry, and then we're gonna do another, we'll do some rest. I'm gonna kind of blow that with my dryer also. Hello, Connie, thank you for joining me. I'm gonna blow those with my dryer also to kind of let it thicken up a little bit so that it gets even gunkier than it currently is. This little heat tool gets really, really hot. Hotter than the blow dryer, so you have to be really careful when you're working with metal. And it's still pretty wet. Anybody doing anything fun today? I saw Sarah was going out with some friends. I'm jealous. My husband's working today. He works in a hospital. He works one weekend day, I think, a month. He's on a new facilities now, so I don't really know. But I have the house to myself. I don't have to worry about him. I do have to make sure we have dinner later. Okay, that is a little warm. All right. I want to make sure to get the bottom, the inside, which I didn't get, because this might show as we finish our project. All right, I'm just going to blast this really quick, and I hope it doesn't get too hot. All right, now I'm just going to dab the brown out of my brush here, and I'm going to do the orange right on top of it. So you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's actually getting thicker. I know that looks disgusting. It's getting thicker, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. So I'm just going to just dab it all over. And I'm not going to worry about how much, because I'm going to go back over one more time with the brown. And then we're going to add some cinnamon on top, because I really want this to look old and really crusty, like it's been sitting around for a long time. So this is what we have so far, you guys. I know it doesn't look that great. Try adding playing cornhole and having some adult juice. Oh, that sounds fun. Sounds really fun, Stephanie. Let's see, just crafting. Debbie's crafting. Who else is, wait, somebody's cooking. Oh, Stephanie, you're cooking with friends and then playing cornhole. Hello, Debbie. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, Norma Jean. Okay, guys, so now I'm just going to do the same thing on the little finales. I'm just going to put some orange on them. And this paint with this spackle in it is getting rather thick. Exactly what I was hoping for. Let me see if I can show you guys. I got a little bit much on that one. That's all right. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I know there's a lot on there, but we're going to go back over it with the brown because we really want it to look like it's built up that rust, that it's really old. Now we'll get my safety pin. And you guys, when you do your faux finish on your safety pin, even if you're going to rust them yourself, try to do a rusting process. You want to make sure that you leave it closed, because if you don't, you'll never be able to get it closed because you'll have so much gunk on the end. Debbie, I haven't disclosed what I'm making yet. We're just resting the things up, and I'll show you, I'll kind of disclose it in just a minute. We're using a jar, and I had a strainer that I got from the Dollar Tree that I cut all of the pieces off, and we're resting it up. And when I get to the next process, I'm going to tell you guys what we're making because it'll kind of give it away. All right, let me dry this a little bit, and then we'll go over it with the brown. And then I still have to do the bottom part of the finales because I don't want them to show through. These are going to be little knobs on the bottom of our jar. We're going to make something to go inside of our jar. This little guy is going to be our lid. It is a secret. It is a secret. Tricky, not drunky. Yes, I was just watching a live on another live, and somebody commented about something, and she meant to. What did she meant to say? She didn't have something in her house, is what she meant to say, but she said, "I don't have any in my hair." And I was like, what in the world is that supposed to mean? Because she was talking about something to do about Pioneer Woman decor. The person was making something to do with Pioneer Woman, and I was just dying because I'm like, that's what you meant. All right, I'm going to pounce this out and get some of this orange out and get my brown right over the top of this again. This paint is getting really thick and gunky, you guys, and it's exactly what I want. Okay. So while this is wet, I am thinking, so I'm going to do one more coat with the brown to make sure it's not too hot. One more coat with the brown, and I'm going to, while this brown is wet, I am going to sprinkle some cinnamon on top. Just like this. So we have like the different colors of rust going on. The oranges and the browns. All right, this is what we have going on. And then we'll hit that with a dryer, and it's gonna kind of seal that in there. All right. Okay, so now I'm just going to keep doing the other things, just a little bit of brown on top so that it's not so orange. Here is our rusty safety pin. Yes, definitely rusty. Okay, now I'm just going to, whoops, I got the orange again. I'm going to dab over this again, these little legs. Okay. You guys, this is really thick and gunky and really vintagey looking. I probably got a bit more paint than I needed, but oh well. Because it is going to dry hard. I can't put it back in my container because it has that spackle in it. All right, almost done. And then we'll do the bottom of these because it's going to show through on the jars. So let me dry these really quick. Oh, we spilled the cinnamon. Dry this guy. All right. All right. This safety pin looks really, really good. I did a faux finish on a safety pin the other day, you guys, and this one looks even better with this spackle in the paint because it really looks thick and real. Let me show you guys what this looks like. Okay, I want to show you guys that little mesh thing right now really badly, but I have to wait for it to cool off. I'm not going to really worry about doing all the rust stuff on the bottom of this thing. I just need it to be brown because I just don't want the lightness to show through. So I'm just, obviously I can't get inside the hole, but I'm just going to do it brown. I'm not going to worry about doing all the rusty stuff on that. Almost done with these guys. Oops, that's still a little wet. I cannot wait to show you guys this little metal thing because it actually looks really cool. Get it closer. This is still wet. This is how I get dirty. I get impatient before everything is dry and I start touching everything. All right. You guys, this looks, look at that. All that rusty goodness. Okay, and then look at our safety pin. Okay, let me wipe my hands off. Hello, Tammy. Oh. Okay. Oh my. I'm really rusty and crusty on my fingers, you guys. Okay. Get enough off. Sorry, I'm so dirty. The rustiness and crustiness, let me show you these finales. These are going to be our legs on the bottom of our bottle. Yes, Tammy, I added, oh, shoot, I got cinnamon on the table. I added some lightweight spackle to my paint. And as it has been sitting here and getting thicker, it really has helped give it that really crusty looking look. All right, so next, let me see. I need to get this sticker off, so I need to warm this up for just a second. Yeah, I don't know, Tammy, if you do the did it not work if you did the Vintage Pebble? I know today when I was trying to put a post with all of the presenters that are going to be in the live event on October 8th, I was trying to tag everybody, but for some reason it was only letting me tag the first person, and then I couldn't tag anybody else. So I'm not sure how or why that works that way. So I just decided not to do that. All right, I think I have this warm enough. I'm going to use, I have a little scraper tool that I also got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to see if that will help me get this off. Maybe I don't even need it. So if you warm up a tag, it helps get the stickiness loose so that you can peel it all the way off. And see, I've peeled that off and I don't have any sticky residue left. All right. Now we are going to make some candy canes to go in our jar. This is what we're going to have as our lid. So to make some candy canes, I'm going to use my wooden dowels. What did I do with my wire cutters? I'm just going to use my wire cutters and cut these. I'm going to cut a little bit off the end because I want to make sure these fit in the jar. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off the end, and then I'm going to break them in. I'm going to cut them in half. And to make your candy canes, you need to use 2 of them together. So with each set of 2, you can get 2 candy canes. So now I have 4 candy canes. I think I need to get one more because I want it to be an odd number. Not that it really matters because it's going to be inside of a jar. I have to be careful not to let it fly because if I let them fly, they go everywhere, and then Roxy gets them, and she loves to chew up all these little wooden things. All right, let me get one more dowel. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my glue gun, and I'm going to glue these together. Oh my gosh, you guys, I did not even put the glue gun on. I put the battery on and I did not turn it on. No option. Oh, it gave me the option of using Stephanie's page, but not me. You've tried multiple occasions. Good grief. It's okay. Yes, I need Stephanie's hedge clippers. I have some. They're not nearly as big as Stephanie's. Mine are babies compared to hers. But mine don't cut my, mine do not cut the paint sticks the same way that Stephanie's do. All right, so while we're waiting for that to heat up, we'll go ahead and cut some strips of fabric to wrap around our dowels. So I'm just going to use, I have this fabric that I used the other night to make my little elf hat, red polka dot. I've stained it in coffee and then dried it in the oven. And it just looks really good. So I'm just going to put a little sliver in the fabric there, and then we're going to tear them. And I don't even know how many I need, so we're just going to tear a few here. Okay. Yes, we love Stephanie's hedge clippers. She's got the best ones. I don't have any bushes, so I really don't have a need for the giant ones like she has. Maybe when we get our, well, maybe when we buy our house again. We're in a temporary rental. A lot of you don't know if you're new to me. I need vintage clippers. There we go. Stephanie needs some vintage clippers. those of you that are new to me, I am born and raised native Californian. July 2021, my husband and I sold our house up and moved to Tennessee. We had no friends or family there. My husband got a job at a very, very, very large hospital, more than double the one that he's been working at here in California for 30 years. And we tried to make it work. I tried to go to this Tennessee school system. I did not like it there. I went back to my school district and worked Zoom for 8 months, and I really had a difficult time. We didn't meet any friends. We didn't go and do anything, and so we moved back. We're in California, and so we're in a rental until we can get back in a house. Market's just too high. I'm sorry. I'm still waiting for my glue gun to get hot. Hello, Emily. Thank you so much for joining me. We are in the middle of making a project. I really haven't disclosed what it is. Hopefully people have started to figure it out. We've rusted this mesh strainer up. Thank you so much. I have a glass jar, and we are in the middle of trying to make some candy canes. Hello, Mary. Thank you for joining. I'm waiting for my glue gun to get hot. I plugged it in, but forgot to turn it on. Okay, it's starting to come out now, you guys. Okay. So I just have my dowels that I've cut in half, trimmed them down just a little bit so they'll fit in my jar. And now we're going to wrap them with some fabric. And I'm just going to twist it like so, all the way down. Making sure that you get your dowel covered all the way down. And then you can trim it. I'm not too worried about the edges being, really rough and vintagey, because it's going to be in a jar, and you're not really going to be able to see that the edges are frayed or not at the ends. So we have a few here. I probably could have prepped some of these, but I didn't. Okay. I am really hot, you guys. I might have to turn my fan on. I apologize if it gets a little noisy. Okay. So interesting how sometimes you guys can see the comments and other times you can't. And so there we go. There's what our candy cane is looking like so far. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We have such a wonderful community here of friends, a lot of crafters. We have, you know what, there's so many friends here, I can't even think of all of them, and I don't want to forget anybody. We have such an amazing supportive group. You guys, if you have a page, please share your link. You guys go and follow all of our wonderful creators that we have in here. We really do have a great community of friends, and so encouraging of each other. Please make sure that you go and follow everybody and join with their lives, because we do have an amazing community. Post your pages, your share pages too, girls. I know we have several different groups, share groups. Please, please, please share. Our newest friend that we just found, we have Christy. I think she might have just joined. I don't know. I'm seeing somebody saying welcome. Christy from the Dashing Willow. She made an amazing scarecrow project the other night. I haven't had the chance to go and watch it, and I'm dying to see it. It was amazing. All right, so we're still making our candy canes, getting closer to being done with them. Actually, no, because we're going to add something to them to kind of make them a little bit more vintagey and beautiful. All right, a couple more. Stephanie, Stephanie, are you in a live event tomorrow? Did I miss something about a live event, or are you just doing a live tomorrow? Hello, Janie. I didn't see you sneak in. And Zena. Hi, Mary. You guys, oh, thank you so much for coming and joining and supporting. We're in the middle of making a project. I guess I can probably tell you guys what it is now that we're kind of so far into it. Does anybody guess what it is? I mean, I've kind of disclosed it a little bit. 2 more. Any guesses? Any guesses? Hello, Christina. I didn't see you come in. Sorry if I've missed you guys if you come in. It's hard to craft and pay attention to all the comments. Oh, okay. You're on Monday night. And you're going live tomorrow. Perfect. I do not have to work tomorrow, so I'm happy. Well, I take that back. I should work tomorrow. I don't know if I shared with all of you guys, I am a speech pathologist by profession. I work for the school district locally. I have a friend that has a private practice, and I do some private assessments for her once in a while. And I do have several reports that I just had to do this week for her. Am I missing anybody? Hopefully I didn't miss anybody coming in. If I missed you, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new, please let us know where you're watching from. We have such an amazing supportive group of women here, creators and friends, those that just like to come and join us and support us. And we just like to have a good time and support everybody. All right, so we're almost done with getting all of this fabric twisted around all of these little dowels to make our candy canes. Okay, we are making a vintage jar of candy canes, you guys. That is what we are making. All right, now I'm going to add, I have this, it's called Tablescape. I got this from Hobby Lobby. It was in a clearance section of spring. This is what it looked like to begin with. It's kind of like a very clean ivory looking piece. I stuck it in my good old coffee, let it soak up, and then I put it in the oven to let it dry. And now I'm just going to, I folded it so that I can just make one good clean cut across, and now I have like one little strip, like so. And now we're going to wrap this around our candy cane. And we're just going to twist it, and I want some of that, I want that red to really show through. So we're just going to kind of twist it like this. Okay, and we're letting all that little frayed, rough edges show. Okay, and then we're going to drop it in our jar. We're going to have some candy canes. So let me just cut these strips really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so now I have all my little strips. You have to be careful not to pull in it too hard because it does tear fairly easily. It's like cheesecloth, but it's a little bit thinner. It shreds really easy. It makes really nice. What did I use this on? I think I used this on. Sorry, I was trying to think what I used this on. I might not have it behind me. Oh, I used this on my this little piggy, and I was able to kind of shred it so that we can see the writing through. And it looked like just old wrapping wrapped around our pig. Okay. This is Speech pathologist. Sorry, I missed that, you guys. So there we go. There's our candy canes in our jar so far. I work with little kids all day long. Most of them are with severe developmental issues going on, whether it is a lot of autism, Down syndrome, a lot of children, and I love my job, you guys. I love what I do. I love helping and supporting the families, and it just brings me joy. All right, another one, almost done, guys. 3 left, and then we'll get on and get this finished up. Anybody else excited for football season to be here? Not me. My husband is, though. He is a Rams fan. Of course, because, you know, we live in California. He's very, very, very pro. You have to support the team that you live in, the state you live in. And when we were in Tennessee, he was still Rams fan. He had a really difficult time saying that he was going to be a Tennessee Titans fan. And I had to remind him of his standards and philosophies, and couldn't understand why people didn't support the team that area that they lived in. Okay, there's our candy canes, you guys. All right. Now I'm going to take a piece of drop cloth. It's very thin, it's very stringy, and I'm just going to wrap it around the top. I don't want it to overpower this, so we're just going to do a knot. And I'm going to cut it, and then I'm just going to kind of pull the strings to get it frayed at the end there. And that's what we have so far. I might have to cut that down a little bit. Barbara, this is just a red fabric. It's a red fabric with white polka dots. I got this at Walmart, and then I stained it in coffee and dried it in the oven. And then the outside, the white part it's called Tablescapes. It's from Hobby Lobby. This is what it looked like before. It was ivory. I got this in the spring section. They have all kinds of different colors. I think I have another one that's a navy blue. And I got it like 75% off. It was, you know, like a dollar or something like that. Let's see. I saw something. Janie, I think I saw something in here that you were a liaison for Tourette syndrome children and adults for 13 years. Awesome, girl. That is amazing. Okay, now we're going to take our rusty, crusty lid and we're going to attach it to our jar. And it's, you know, bent and you know, distorted from, you know, pushing on it, and I think that even gives it more character. Before I do that, I'm going to tie another string on here, because I want to tie some bells on, and I'm going to use this twine. I have this red and white twine, and I want it just to give it a little bit more color on the outside. So I have a jar of Rusty bells. I got these bells from Amazon. I don't even know. I want to say there's like 100 bells in here. I pay like a $20 or something for it. I could be wrong. There could be much more than that. Okay. To help my twine from fraying as I try to pull it through these bells, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, hot glue on the end of my twine. But my glue gun gets really hot, so I want to let this cool off a minute. Okay, and now I'm just going to kind of push it in the twine. And then I'm going to string it through my little bells. I really should get some bigger bells. I'd like to have some bigger ones, especially with Christmas coming. Might be hard to find them at this time of the year now, though. Oh, I think I only want 3 on here. All right, we're gonna make a tag also. I'm trying to show you guys what I'm doing and it's not working for me anyhow. Okay, so I'm just going to tie this on here. Nothing fancy, you guys, just a bow, just a basic bow. There we go, that's what we have so far. You're watching the LSU game, hopefully they play better than last week. Oh, you know, that just made me think of something. My parents are guardians for an international student. He is from a very, 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 very poor country somewhere in Africa, and I cannot remember where. He is here on a basketball scholarship to a private high school. And he has now gotten himself hooked up with a wonderful scout. I think that's what they're called, scouts. For somebody that is a really famous football player that plays for the Rams. And he's gotten himself a full ride scholarship to, oh my word, Michigan. He's just signed with Michigan. Okay, let's make a quick tag. He is still in high school. He's doing an accelerated program so that he can graduate in December and head off to Michigan in January and start training with them. Okay, here's just a regular old tag that I got from Hobby Lobby. I was going to show you the package, but they just fell out right now. Came in a package of how many tags? 25 tags for $1.79, you guys. Yeah, I can't even believe the scholarships that these kids get nowadays for college, because they can actually get paid money, and I don't even know what kind of a deal he got, but it's amazing. I'm going to, and I just tore the end off because I don't want it to be too long. Okay. I'm going to write on here. I have a paint pen, and we're just going to write on here candy canes, just like an old-fashioned candy general store would have been way back when. Kind of funky, old-fashioned writing. I'm super excited for him. My parents have really taken him on as if he is like one of their children. They've housed many international students, but he is the first one that they've kind of really taken a liking to. There we go, candy canes. Now let's just gunk this up a little bit. We're gonna use antique wax. Okay, you guys, we're gonna use some antique wax. I'm just gonna use my finger. This is another reason how I get gunked up too. What is it on here? I like to just rub this around the little circle to kind of make it look like it's that metal vintagey rusty thing going on. And we're just going to kind of drag it down the sides. All right, there's that. And then we'll add some ink. I have Ranger potting soil. And we're just going to just kind of rub it all over, make it look old. And then I'm going to use, I like to use 2 different browns because I think it gives it that really good definition. And this one is Distress Oxide, also by Ranger, and this one is Ground Espresso. So I'm just going to rub it kind of all over, really getting on the edges. And then the other little trick I like to do is, because I don't want it to still look just straight, I like it to really look worn. I think I'm done with that. So I like to spray it with a little bit of water and then use my heat tool on it to kind of give it that curved, rumply look. And I know it's really hard for me to show you how it does that on live. You had season tickets when they were in St. Louis. Oh, my husband did not like when they left to St. Louis many, many years ago. Cardinals fans. Nice. Okay, a lot of football fans here. I could really care less. I go with my husband a lot of times when he wants to go and watch with his friends. I just like to go and socialize. So I don't know if you guys can see on screen how that is rumpling and turning. Let me try to hold that up and show you how it just kind of curls because of the wetness. So I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Can you see how there it's bent and it kind of curves and it just gives it that worn look. All right, now we're going to use our rusty crusty faux safety pin, and I'm going to just pin this on here like so. All right, then I'm going to glue this on the top. Just put a little bit of glue around the edges here. It doesn't need a whole lot. I want to make sure before I do that. I should have made sure my candy canes were all good. There's what we have going on so far, you guys. All right. Yes, Tammy, it is. It is, they're just little tags. They're pre-made tags. I got them on the stamping aisle of Hobby Lobby. And they have different sizes. All right, so there's what we have so far, you guys. But don't forget, we also have these little wooden feet. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to add a bell onto this little, the front of this tag. So let me take this tag off again. I have a little wooden bell, and I wanted to kind of just hang that on this. Might not work with all the gunk I have on here. No, I'm gonna have to glue it onto my tag. I was hoping that it would go in there. So I'm just gonna glue it on my tag before we glue those feet on. All right. There, see, I just added a little bell on there. All right, now we're just gonna glue our feet on here. You wanna make sure that you get them nice and straight. I really need to put my glasses on for this, you guys, because I do need to make sure that they're straight, not wonky. Carla, give me 1 second and I'll show you what the strainer is, okay? The strainer is a mesh strainer that came from Dollar Tree. I have one that is not all rusted and crusted and well loved. And I'll show you in 1 second. Okay, so we're just gluing the feet on the bottom, making it look like a nice old Anthropologie jar that you would have seen in an old general store. There we go. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so there we go, you guys. I think it turned out super cute. You know, the little candy canes in there would look nice on a little display with anything. All right, who asked that? Was that Carla that asked for that? Yes, Carla. This is a strainer that I got at Dollar Tree. It's just a mesh strainer. I don't even know what you would use this size of a strainer for. I mean, you certainly can't drain much of anything. I imagine you could probably do like a tea bag or something in this, but I just cut this off and this off. I didn't actually cut it. I used my my wire cutters and I twisted it to pull the pieces out. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I know it was a cute little simple little craft. I definitely need to kind of get this twisted off to the side a little bit so that you can see better. I want you to be able to see the candy canes. There we go. Super cute. The paint, for those of you that are just joining, I actually added some spackle to my paint to give it a little bit of a thicker look. I got this lightweight spackling. I think this came from Walmart. Added that to my paint, and as it dried and got thick, it really gave the paint that rusty, really old, vintagey, crusty look. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you and all your time and coming and supporting. Make sure you go support our other creators that are here. If they're not still here, they definitely were earlier. We have a great group of women and a great group of supporters on this page, and we love you all dearly, and we thank you all so much for your time. Thank you so much, Angelica. Oh, your other phone died. Thank you so much for coming, Sharon. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and I will see you later. I have another fun project planned. I have to get it prepped. I don't know if I'll be on again later tonight or if we'll save it for tomorrow. But anyway, have a great night, you guys. Enjoy. Bye-bye.